Hey guys, Mr.Relatable here. Welcome back to another episode of Creative Basics. This episode is kind of going to be a part 2 on my search and destroy tutorial I released around a month ago, and I'm going to be showing off how to create a currency system in your search and destroy game. Now this is for if you want to set up shops and players can buy guns, similar to what Counter-Strike sort of has, and a lot of the other search and destroy maps are kind of going towards this sort of style now. But with that out of the way, let's hop right into the tutorial and I will show you guys how to do it. So I want to start this off by saying, if you haven't followed the first tutorial, I'd highly recommend going and watching that first, as we're kind of going to be extending onto that tutorial, and I'm not going to be going over anything that was in the previous tutorial. So if you haven't made your own search and destroy game mode yet, I'd highly recommend watching that first part and then coming back to this one afterwards. But with that out of the way, let's go into our first of many settings. First thing we're going to need to do here is go to My Island and then go to the Settings tab. We're going to be changing 3 things here. If you scroll down to about halfway, you should see a thing called Gold Granted on Elimination. This is how much gold you want the players to receive when they kill someone. I'm going to be putting this on 25, and you can copy all of my numbers if you want. I'm just going to be going over the numbers that I have set up for my own game mode. I know a lot of people have very different numbers. These are just the numbers that I found to work really well for me. So the next thing after this is set up, scroll on down a little bit further and you should see Show Gold Resource Count. Put this on yes. And then also another thing that you can change if you want to do this is maximum equipment slots. You can see here that if I exit out, in the bottom right corner, you see that I have 5 equipment slots. That means I can carry 5 different guns, or maybe 3 guns and 2 heals, whatever you want. Those are your equipment slots, so you can carry 5 of them. So what you can do is set this to 3, which is what I'm going to do, and it kind of adds an element of strategy into your search and destroy game, because then people can't just load up on different weapons. People can't have an AR, a shotgun, a sniper, an RPG, and heals. They kind of have to pick and choose what they want. So in mine, I have it on 3 because I want people to have to actually strategize on what they're going to carry with them. But that is all you need to do for these settings. Let's move on to the next step. So the next thing that we need to do here is we need to come over to our team settings devices. We built these last time, but if we're going to add gold, we actually need to delete both of these. You can see that these are the exact same mechanics that we set up on our previous map. I'm just using the map that I have built, which is my search and destroy grasslands maps, But all you need to do is come over to these team settings devices and just delete them. Go back into the creative menu and grab them again. We just need to place them down again. So I'm placing down 2 like so, and the reason we need to delete them is because we need to remove the contents that are inside them, aka we needed to remove the guns that were already previously in there. Now we're going to go into this one. This one is going to be the attackers, where you're going to go over to our all options tab and go to attackers, and then the team is going to be 1, default class identifier is going to be 1, and then grant items on respawn, put this on yes. Grant condition, we need to put to only when empty, and then on grant behavior, put to keep all. Now we're going to scroll down a little bit more, and you can put all of these settings on depending on whatever you want. However, all we need to do now is scroll down until you see eliminated players items. We're going to want to put this on drop, and then eliminated players resources, put this on keep. Now what this pretty much just says is that when a player dies, they're going to drop their weapons. And the reason we want this is because for a currency-based system similar to what Counter-Strike has, you want the players to have to drop their weapons when they die, so then the enemy team can kind of pick them up. And it adds an element of strategy where you want to spend a ton of money for that overpowered weapon. Well, if you die, then the enemy can get the overpowered weapon. So that's why we put this on drop. And the reason we put this on keep is because we are going to be giving the players gold, which is a resource, and we don't want them to lose the gold when they die. Next thing, we're going to just scroll down to the bottom here, and we should see end round when receiving from channel 4, which is all the way down here. End round when receiving from channel 4, and then when team is out of respawns, transmit on to channel 6. And that's all you need to set up for the first one. Second one over here is slightly different, still very similar though. Put the name to whatever you want. Mine is going to be defenders. Team is going to be on 2. Grant item on respawns. We're going to put this on yes. Grant condition only when empty, and then on grant behavior, keep all. And then once again, we're going to scroll down to the bottom here. Eliminated players' items, drop. Eliminated players' resources, keep. So you did notice, if you have been paying attention, we did not do the default class identifier. That's perfectly normal. We're not putting that on for this one. Now we're just going to scroll down to the bottom, and yet again, we're just going to change these channels. So end round when receiving from, we're actually going to put that to 16. That's the only channel that I have free in my map at the moment. So I'm just going to be putting this on 16. You can put this on any free channel that you have, but 16 is just what I'm going to be doing. And then when team is out of respawns, put this onto channel 5. And now the only last thing that we have to do for these is we got to give the players a starting weapon. And the reason we're doing this is because if the players don't buy an item within the preparation time, as I like to call it, then they're going to be gunless. And we don't want that. We want the players to always start with a weapon no matter what. So for my map, I'm going to be doing 2 white pistols like so. So just fly over them and drop them in like that. So now when we start up the game, the players are going to start with a white pistol no matter what, but then they can also choose to buy an upgraded weapon if they want. But that's all we need to do for the team settings device. So the next step in our process here is we actually are going to need to grab a trigger and just plop it on down wherever you'd like. We're just going to modify all of these trigger settings, but don't worry about any previous thing that was on it. The first thing that we're going to want to set up is a delay. Put it onto 1 second. And then scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you should see trigger when receiving from. We're going to put this on 3, and then when triggered, transmit on channel 16. And that's all we need to do for that trigger. It's very simple, and that is it. But believe it or not, we are actually almost finished setting up our currency. The last 2 things that we need to do are go into the devices tab and grab our round settings device and throw it on down. We are going to customize on it and go to the all options tab just like normal, and we are going to change a couple things. Keep items between rounds, we're going to put this on yes. Keep resources between rounds 100%. Reload and restock weapons each round, yes. And then scroll down to about halfway. You should see gold given per round, and you can put this to whatever you want, and then gold given to winners per round. Put this to whatever you want as well. These 2 numbers are how much gold you want the winners and losing team to receive. So if you lose, you're going to only get this 100 gold that you get per round. However, if you win, you're going to get an additional 100 gold. So if I put this on 200, for example, the losers would only get 100, but the winners would get 300 because it adds the 100 and the 200 together. For my game, I'm doing 100 and 100. Now, the next thing we need to do is grab a item granter that is right here, this little copper looking thing. And we're going to just throw it down like so. You don't have to copy it because we are actually going to be doing the same settings for everything, which is very nice. So the first thing we're going to do here is on grant action. We're going to put this on keep all. Grant, we want all items. And then we're going to scroll down to the channels down here at the bottom. And we're going to put this when item. Oh, excuse me. We are going to want to put this on grant item. That's one. Grant item when receiving from channel 1. Grab this and just copy it 3 times like so. We're going to go into the middle one here, and now we're going to put this onto channel 9. And then over here, we're going to put this onto channel 3. So what do these exactly do? These 2 first ones that I set up are for when the attackers plant the bomb. This is how you are going to determine how much gold the attackers get when they plant the bomb. This last one is how much gold the defenders get when they defuse the bomb. So the way that you set this up is you're going to want to go to the consumables tab and grab gold. We have gold in our inventory right here. You're going to want to click your drop button on it and then just drag this scroll bar to whatever you want. So for me personally, I want 50 for when they plant the bomb and 50 for when they defuse the bomb. So we're just going to go through and grab 50 and drop it in each one. So we can see here, we're dropping it in and 50. Like so. I don't know why the gold is flying away like that. It's a little bit of a visual bug. But that is everything that you need to set up your currency. We're actually 100% complete here. So now all we need to do is set up our vending machines and our ways to actually get the items, and I will be showing that off right about now. So setting up vending machines are extremely simple and they are not complex at all. All you're going to want to do is grab the vending machine device like so and throw it down like this. Now we're going to need to change a few options in here, but it is very simple. The first thing we're going to want to change is first item resource type, change this to gold, and then cost of first item. You're going to want to put this to whatever you want. So we are going to, let's say, we're going to set up an assault rifle that's worth 100 gold. I would not actually do that in my real game, but it's just for the sake of showing this off. Now, the only downside with these vending machines is that you cannot have multiple items in them. If you're trying to sell a assault rifle, you can't also put like an AK and a sniper in the same vending machine. You need to have separate vending machines for everything. The only other thing that I would change here is I would turn interaction time just to 1 second. And the only reason I do that is because I've had it where I was trying to buy something and I accidentally misclicked, or I've had someone when they were playing controller accidentally misclick, and they would accidentally just buy an item that they didn't want. So that's pretty much the only reason why I put that on 1 second. The next thing we're going to do here is just copy it however many shops that you actually want to have set up. So let's just put 5 for the sake of the video, and we'll just line them up. And now the only last thing that you need to do is grab your weapons and just grab whatever 5 weapons that you are going to want, because we have our 5 vending machines. And just simply drop the weapon right next to the vending machine, like so. Oh, that one went into that one. Gotta be a little bit careful when you're placing these items. I guess it didn't, it got a little bugged, but you get the idea. All you want to do is come along and place the weapons in the vending machines like so. Yeah, I believe this one actually picked up the weapon on accident. You can see, there's 2. But just space them out a little bit more so that doesn't happen to you. And now you're going to want to go in and set up how much you want the cost of everything to be. So let's say I want the hand cannon to be 70. I'd want this gun to be 50. I'd want this gun to be 140. I'd want this gun to be, I don't know, we could go all the way up to, let's say, 420. Didn't even mean to put that there, but, you know, that's all you need to do for the vending machines. So we're actually done. This is literally everything that you need to do. And I will show some examples now of what my map looks like, and I will slowly kind of pan through all the vending machines. If you want to copy them, you're more than welcome to. I don't care. I'm not claiming that I'm the first person to do this. If you want to copy every single gun, every single price, every single number that I put in this video, by all means, go for it. You're also more than welcome to customize it. So I'm just going to hop into my other island now and show you what it looks like when everything is 100% built and complete. So here I am into my Search and Destroy Grasslands 2.0 version. This is just a new version that I was going to make that includes the shopping aspect. So I'm just going to be showing off what it looks like now that I have everything completed. So we're just going to start up the game on this island, and I will show off what it looks like. So this is exactly what I have in mind. I have a big open area that you spawn in with a bunch of different shops around, and I will go through and show off all of the shops in a second. I'm just showing off what it looks like. And at the top of my screen, I have a timer that counts down from 30 seconds, and that is kind of a prep timer. All of this stuff is pretty easy to set up. If you guys really don't know how, I can help you out with that. I don't mind. It's overall pretty easy to set up. But now we can buy a pistol, as we start with a white one and it's not very good. After that 30 seconds is over, we have a teleporter that then teleports us into the game, and a little speaker that plays a little jingle, as well as the round timer at the top starts ticking down. We set up the round timer in the previous video, and you guys probably remember that. I'm going to go over here and plant the bomb just to show you guys what it looks like. If we come up to this bomb site here, you can see that in the right side of my screen, it says 70 gold. Now, if I plant it, I am going to get up to 120. And now I'm going to skip ahead a little bit in the editing just to show you guys what it looks like when the bomb actually explodes. So as you can see here, the bomb just blew up and it ends the round. Once the round is over, we are now going to see how much gold we have the next round. We ended this round with 120 and we won, meaning we should have received 200 gold, which means we should go up to 320. We are now on the defenders team as well because we swapped sides in our island settings, and now you can see I have 320 gold, and yet again I can go over here and buy any weapon that I want. So you can see that it is working 100% perfectly and everything is great. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. But now I'm going to end this video off by just going through and panning through all of my weapons to show you guys what the prices have, or what prices I have on mine, so you guys can set them up on your own. So I'm going to do that right now for you guys. So here we are. I'm just going to be showing off everything. Don't mind the big green kind of backgrounds. Those are barriers just so players can't get out. But I'm just going to kind of be slowly walking through these. If you guys want, you can pause them at any time just to see what I have. This background is a little troll, but these are kind of all the weapons that I have in my game, and you're more than welcome to copy them if you so please. I just have 6 of every category of weapon, so 6 pistols, 6 assault rifles, 6 snipers, so on and so forth. We can come over here. These are all the assault rifles. If you want to copy them, like I said, go ahead, excuse me. Here are all of the shotguns, and you're more than welcome to change the prices, do whatever you want. I mean, this is a tutorial for you guys, not really for me. So that is everything. You can see here, that one's 150. My head was blocking it. But those are all the prices. If you guys want to do those, go ahead. But now that is the end of the video. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.